I try to make this robot as simple as possible and accessible as possible for everyone. The main issue for this build is screws. You will have to source adequate screws. Most of the screws comes with the servos, but you will need to source a few of them. Here you need to make sure that the arm of the server is sitting flush with the top of the shoulder. Use these holes to connect to the shoulder. You don't need all four, two screws is enough. Next axis. For this servo, I also don't think you need all four screws, two is enough. Depending on the servos you have, I included spacers that allows you to adjust the heights and spaces according to the servos that you have. Before attaching the arm to the servo, make sure that the servo axis is in the middle. The only thing that attaches the servo to the arm is the servo arms. And you need to either glue the servo arm to the robot arm or screw it, or even use a soldering iron to melt the servo arm to the robot arm. As you can see, I'm using a tiny screw, just like a screw from watches and glasses. I tried to make this robot easy to build, but I have not succeeded. But I think that anyone can build it with very little resources, and the penalty for mistakes is very minimal. It is easy to print. You don't need a lot of time to print each part, and if you break a part, it is very simple to reprint it and remake it. So, although it is a bit complicated to build, nobody should be afraid to try, and eventually you will succeed. The other thing I wanted to make sure is that the robot that you will eventually achieve is a very robust robot. It won't break easily. The aim here is to achieve a practical robot arm that you can actually program, work with, learn with, and do whatever you want, no matter how young you are. Now, for the smart or the big idea I have, it is very hard to print very small gears. And I wanted something that is small, simple, and that anyone can do. And I came up with this idea. With this method, the fingers actually doesn't have any gears. It is one piece, very small, very delicate. It is very simple and very robust. Because we're using ABS and not PLA, it is going to be very reliable and very flexible and won't break. Make sure that this hole can fit a filament. If it doesn't fit it, use a drill to drill it to 2 millimeter wide. Insert the filament in order to hold the hinge and melt with a solder iron or something the tip of the filament in order for it not to drop out. From here on, you have cable management to do and electronics. Since I'm not pleased with my work, I'll just show you that it works and you can do whatever you want, however you feel comfortable to do.